Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that we all chase, but maybe don't understand as well as we would like. Inspiration. It's kind of this mythical thing that we feel like we have to wait for. But is it really? Or is it something that you don't have to wait for at all? What if it's something you can actually find or maybe even build? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and sometimes ideas just come to me, and when they do, I try to use that inspiration as much as I can. But other times I feel like I'm staring at a blank page, hoping that something clicks and hoping that something will kind of land in my lap, so to speak. So today I want to break down what's helped me and what might help you find inspiration again when you might be feeling stuck. Let's jump in. The first one I think is very simple, but often overlooked in our high-paced, very visual and video format society. Reading real books. Not just tweets, not just clickbait articles, not summaries, not spark notes, real books. Books kind of demand your attention. They unfold slowly. You have to follow along with all of the writer's thoughts. At least, hopefully, a good book will let you do that. And when you read a book, you're kind of stepping into someone else's brain. Their stories, their wisdom, their perspective. And that's kind of gold for inspiration. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, exploring what someone else has thought of or trying to explain to someone else, you kind of get in that similar creative mindset. At least that's what I found in my life. Sometimes I just find one sentence in a book that hits me, and suddenly I need to be scribbling notes and working on a script for the next video, trying to get as much as I can from that little inkling of inspiration. So don't just scroll, but actually read something. And read widely. Fiction, nonfiction, philosophy, biographies. You never know when a page or a phrase might just light that spark and might just really stick with you. The next tip is to really sit with yourself, kind of quietly, and think. I know it's kind of scary in today's modern age where we always want to have something playing. We need to have music or a podcast or YouTube or Netflix, anything going on at every given time, but it's kind of needed. And I also know it sounds a little boring, but honestly, when was the last time you actually tried this?
Inner peace. Inner peace. Dinner, please. Dinner with peas.
No phone, no music, no distractions. Just sit. Or you could go on a walk too. Sometimes I find that helps. Just kind of let yourself be with your thoughts. Inspiration isn't always really loud. It doesn't always kind of grip you and pull you in. Sometimes it's kind of a little whisper, and you'll kind of miss it if you're constantly bombarded with noise. So give yourself a little bit of space, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day. Sit around, walk, breathe, listen. Something that's really helped me in inspiration for creating these episodes, as well as just things in my own life, I have to be kind of present and aware of my surroundings. So look around you. Who are the people you pass every single day? What colors do you notice? What tiny details are in the environment that you've maybe overlooked? Maybe there's a song playing in the background, some kids laughing in the street, a weird cloud formation. These things seem kind of small, but sometimes they could spark some big ideas. Especially when we're thinking about work or even business ideas, pay attention to what you're doing throughout the day. I know in the $1 Million Weekend, it talks about going through every day, thinking about the things that may frustrate you or maybe challenge you, because ultimately that's a problem that probably someone else feels as well. And if you can solve it for them, there's your business idea. So what things stand out in your life? Creativity isn't always about inventing something new. It's often about noticing something old in maybe a new way. So stay present, keep your eyes open. Curiosity really fuels inspiration. Another tip is to make sure to take time to digest. I know I spoke about this in the last video that I just uploaded earlier this week, but we live in a world that's very obsessed with speed.
I am speed.
Consume, react, move on. Forget, go to the next thing. But inspiration doesn't really work that way. At least I found in my experience. And it doesn't work in true learning either. Just like I talked about in the last video about Justin Sung's video about how to remember everything you read, you need to actually take in and apply what you're actually consuming. Otherwise, it just goes straight through one ear and out the other. Sometimes you just need to marinate in what you're learning and experiencing. Let it settle in. Let it evolve. Challenge these ideas. Think through them in a way that you can. This kind of helps refine your thoughts and turn them into a better understanding and hopefully keep them in your head a little bit more. Don't rush it. Understanding and digesting this new information is just as important as the input. Make sure to give yourself space to let things kind of simmer a bit. It's what turns an enormous amount of information into actual real data that provides real insight. Think of it like any big corporation or business. They have tons and tons and tons of information and data at their fingertips. But you have to actually distill it down into something that you can actually understand and apply. You have to do the same thing with what you're actually learning, and hopefully with what you're trying to be inspired by. Take some time to think things through. let it kind of come to you. Another really underrated and underutilized source of inspiration, talking with other people about what they're doing. Talking with them about their lives. This is more than just that simple small talk that we all have whenever we see our coworkers every single day. Ask people about their work. Ask people about their hobbies, what they're building, what they're reading, what they're dreaming about. Try to figure out what other people are inspired by. You'll be amazed how often a conversation with someone, especially someone outside your usual circle, kind of opens up this brand new way of thinking. Everyone is carrying a story and a perspective and an idea that you probably haven't heard yet. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need to be the most curious. Every single person has something to teach us. Everyone, even people you might disagree with, even people you wouldn't normally talk to, even people who are much younger than you. Sometimes the best inspiration comes from the least expected sources. When you approach life like everyone is your teacher, you always find something worth learning. Keep your ears and heart open to that inspiration, because often inspiration wears some pretty weird disguises. And this brings me to my last point. Don't worry about inspiration. If you're constantly chasing it, it'll always stay just out of reach. Inspiration tends to show up when you're not fixated on it, when you're present, when you're in motion, when you're just doing the work. Start working, start moving, and it'll come. And this might be the most practical advice of all. You don't need to feel inspired to begin. You just need to begin. Because inspiration often shows up after you start, not a whole lot before. Write the first sentence. Sketch the first line. Record the first video or clip. Momentum breeds this motivation, and action opens the door for inspiration to come in. The more I read about very successful people and their journey to that point in their life, the more I understand that just starting and working is what I really need to do. It's not so much waiting for that magic formula that I'm hoping to copy and then use for the rest of my life. It's more so about getting on the path, start blazing a trail, and start moving. It's what keeps this show going for me and why I want to keep doing it. It's never going to be perfect right from the start. The show has never been perfect. It probably still isn't perfect. There's so many things that I want to improve and make it better, but that's for a future time. It can only be refined and changed if you're actually doing it. You can only get to where you want to be after a lot of change and a lot of hard work. And this isn't just about your career or maybe your inspiration or your dream. It could be just about your life in general. Work towards what you want. It might take you longer than you initially thought to get there, but hopefully you'll be able to stay in that as long as you possibly can. Once inspiration comes, try to refine it into the best version it possibly can be. Don't expect your very first idea to be the final version. Creativity is very much a process. It's a cycle of doing, observing, tweaking, and then doing it again. I think of how many drafts it takes to get a script to where I'd like it to be, or even just how much I want to edit and change things in editing and whatnot before I upload it. Like, even when I was designing the habit tracker, it took probably 3 or 4 different versions to get it where I want to be. It took me asking my friends and my family to kind of look it over, challenge it, say how they would make it better, because I know that I don't know everything. And even more so, there are things that I would like to change about the habit tracker going forward. For example, the orange color on this, you can't write on it super well. It's really annoying and frustrating, but I kind of write above it now or use a gel pen. But these are things that I can tweak and do down the road. It's not that this one is stuck in cement and there's nothing I can do to change it. The inspiration isn't just in that initial spark, it's in the sculpting and engineering that comes after. Give yourself permission to kind of change and evolve as your ideas go. It's not just a flaw, it's part of the craft. The big idea that I want to make sure you understand is that inspiration isn't this passive thing. It kind of requires action. It's mysterious and fleeting, but it's also practical. It's not just about waiting for the clouds and waiting to be in the right mood. It's buried in the pages you read. It's in the silence that you sit in. It's in the people that you work with. Don't wait for inspiration to find you. Go out and find it, or better yet, build it yourself. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked what you heard, make sure to check out some of my other videos, like maybe this one right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Make sure to check out the website, mycareerpathpodcast.com, and subscribe to the newsletter and the channel. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.